how's it feel? Obviously, 7 in a row now. You guys are rolling a little bit. What's the feeling like right now after that big win the other night?
We feel good, but we still have unfinished business. We still got to continue to play each game and continue to win because just winning one game isn't gonna do what we want to do this year. We got to continue to win, continue to take one game at a time, and we'll end up reaching our goals if we continue to do that.
Coach was worried about minutes at the beginning of the season and thought maybe you guys were playing too many minutes. How do you feel like you're settling into kind of the routine in the lineup?
I think we're starting to settle in a little bit, start to figure out our roles a little bit more, and I think as the season goes on, we're going to continue to, settle in a little bit more, and it'll be good for us.
You had a big body to defend on Saturday night. What was that like, and what did you think when you and Mo were down there and of Mo's defensive performance?
Mo played great. He had a nice spark off the bench. Played good minutes, and if we can continue to get good sparks off the bench like that, we're going to continue to be a great team and continue to win a lot of games.
What did it say about you guys down the stretch there? You weren't scoring, and it kind of seemed like it was a flashback to some of last year's games where you guys just got it done and you barely hang on there on the defensive end, and they missed a shot, obviously. But what was it like those last couple of minutes when you guys were trying to hang on?
This is what we came into. We experienced a lot of that last year, especially like the San Diego State game where we had a huge stretch where we didn't score, but we just find a way. I think that's just hats off to the team. We just find ways to win, and no matter how pretty or ugly it is, we just find a way.
What do you think of that block call?
Happens.
At the end of the game, you guys walked off the court and everyone's throwing up a big X. What is that?
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I think it was just Najee.
It's Naj. I'll have to ask him about that one.
I know we've talked a lot about your schedule and stuff, but you guys have played a pretty tough schedule, and to be where you're at, what is this? I guess you guys got to be really pleased, with what you guys are setting yourself up for, going into conference play. Yeah,
especially after a 1-2 start, it's kind of see the little bit towards last year, but we responded well, and we're finding ways to win, so can't complain.
Playing a tough schedule, how has the team been responding to the consistent tough competition, week by week?
I think we've done a great job, really dialing into the scouting reports and realizing how good each team is that we play. It doesn't matter what their record is; they're coming to give us their best shot. So we just take game by game, and we've been doing a great job of that.
How much? We haven't seen you on the perimeter a whole lot this season. Just kind of with the roles and how they played, do you expect to kind of play down low a little more this year than?
And just whatever the coaches need me to do, that's what I'll do. Whether it's playing the 5, the 4, whatever they need me to do, as long as we're winning, I'm happy with it.
Did you? Your post moves were really good last year, but it seems like they've almost gone to a different level this season. Did you work on that in the off season?
Yeah, I definitely took a approach on that last year. There were some times where I didn't feel like I was effective as I needed to be last year, and so it just really took a good chunk of work out at the summer, and it seems like they've been improving. So.
And with that said, we heard a lot about your shooting too, but it hasn't really come to fruition from 3-point range. Do you feel like you have a lot of makes coming, or?
They're going to come. It's just a matter of time. Just got to keep shooting them up, and the percentages won't get better unless you keep shooting. So, got to keep shooting them.
Has that been frustrating? I guess you put in so much work, and it sounded like you, in the offseason at least, obviously made a huge jump from 3, and then it hasn't come into fruition in the games.
You can always put a little frustration on, but that's just how the game goes. Sometimes the shots just aren't falling, and you just got to stay consistent and keep working.
Go ahead.
Leon has called you his security blanket before. What are the qualities of a good basketball security blanket?
Just being confident throughout the game. Being that calming factor when times get tough. Especially in a game like on Saturday when the crowd gets into it, gets a little loud. You just have to calm the team down, make sure we're slowing down. We don't let the crowd get to us, and just make sure we're playing our game and don't let anyone else affect us.
Chibuzo's really come into his own as a scorer. What have you seen him as he's grown and kind of shaken off, fouling out in his first game and kind of just found a rhythm in this lineup?
We knew what he was capable of when he came in, and now you guys are just starting to see it. We've seen it in practice, and so it's nice to have a guy like him who can score when some of us like Shaver and I couldn't really score as much as we wanted to on Saturday.
Coach was saying that he pulled you and 3 other vets together and was like, "Hey guys, we've been through this. We've got to help everyone else through that." What was that conversation like, and how do you help the other guys through the atmosphere?
I think it was just it was our first true road game. A lot of our guys hadn't really played in that kind of atmosphere, so it was just a matter of us 4 just making sure that we lead the team and make sure that we stay together as a group and don't let anything break us apart.
Feels like you guys are going to need Milner at some point. I know maybe not the start he thought he was going to have. You had to tweak the lineup a little bit, maybe at his expense. What are you saying as a leader? Like, you guys are going to need this guy, and to just keep getting better?
Yeah, we're going to need him at some point. Whether Mo or I get in foul trouble, we're going to need someone to step up, and his time's going to come, and it's just a matter of when it's going to happen. He's doing his work. Like, I remember walking just over here. He's in the gym working, and so his time's going to come, and he's staying ready for it.
How do you guys obviously coming off a big win? You got a quick turnaround now. You play tomorrow. I mean, how do you guys try to obviously not letting a slip up happen tomorrow or Sunday?
We celebrated the win on the flight home on Saturday, and now it's we got to focus on New Orleans and focus on making sure we take care of business on our home court.
What's the momentum like on a 7-game winning streak? Is it something you guys think about, or is it just next game?
Just a next game mentality. I think that's what we did last year. We ended up going on a 14-game win streak. So just got to take it one game at a time and don't get too far ahead of ourselves.
Do you feel like you guys are a little ahead of maybe where you were at this point last year? And just to know that who knows what will happen, but just the wins and the confidence and the way it's building, it seems like you guys, Leon said maybe you're a little ahead of pace. We
could be. We're really starting to gel as a group. We're really playing well defensively, and defense travels. So as long as we can continue to play great defense, we're going to win a lot of games.
What is a practice like when Coach Burns is giving out the defensive game plan?
He's very intense. It's what you see on the court's what you see in practice. Him getting up, yelling at us, making sure every little detail's right. So with his attention to detail, it really helps us in the game, knowing exactly where we need to be at all times.
There's times like when you can hear him yelling from the bench or whatever. Like, first of all, do you guys even hear him? And second, he seems to say like 2 words, like, "Oh, you've got this guy. He's a goody around the rim or something." Like, does that stuff help?
Yeah, it definitely helps because a lot of time we focus on the starters. We know the bench guys, but maybe there'd be a guy that hasn't played a lot, and we don't really know exactly what he does. And Burns and them always know what each player does, and so when we get in, just a quick reminder is always good for us, and to make sure that we don't have a slip up.
Tyson, what's the biggest difference at this point in the season from this team to last year's team?
I think we're really coming together as a group more now at this point in the season than last year. We had that really big dip last year, and we started to make our way up, and we had a little bit of a dip against Charlotte, but we're already on our way up, and we're hoping to not have a big dip like last year.
You know what it takes to make the NCAA tournament. You know what an NCAA tournament looks like. What from this team have you seen at this point that makes you believe that maybe come Selection Sunday, which feels like 10 years from now, that you guys might put yourself in a position to get back?
We just got to continue to take it one game at a time. As much as we'd like to get to Selection Sunday, if we don't take care of business tomorrow, it could hurt our resume. So we just got to take it one game at a time and continue to win games.
Something Coach talked with us about the veteran leadership is that they have really good huddles. What does a good huddle look like?
So after any whistle, it's all 5 guys coming together, make sure we're talking, make sure we're connected. I think in the Charlotte game, we looked back and there was no huddles, there's no sense of connection as a team. And so we really, look at that and say, hey, huddles are super important for us. And so really took a jump as a team and making sure we have huddles after every single dead ball, and it's paid dividends for us.